The show's name is Hitler's Little Abomination, which is provocative, but it's intended to show that Hitler thought Jews and Germans shouldn't mix, so I'm an abomination. So. The mass deportations of the Hungarian Jews didn't even begin until May 15th of 1944, and they ended soon after, on July 8th. By then, 437,000 have been gassed in Auschwitz, give or take a few human beings. My father's mother, my omama, survived by hiding in the closet of her Gentile maid. His father hid in a hospital, and his cousin Lotzi, who he grew up with, hid way out in the countryside. Bad move. Adolf Eichmann divided Hungary into concentric circles and worked his way in towards Budapest, the juicy Jewish center. Most of my father's side of the family was murdered in the Holocaust. Not killed, murdered. I started doing solo performance because it was a way to get reactions to my writing. So I started taking classes, and it was just very satisfying to read stuff and have your class and your director respond. And my mother's stories are sort of classic stories she told. The thing about the tea time with Tante Hannah, this one scene actually, I had just started taking classes and I was visiting with my mother in Vancouver, and my family was driving me up the wall because they're just so annoying. And I thought, okay, the only way I'm gonna get through this is to turn this into a written piece. And then all this amazing stuff happened with my aunt pulling out this knife with a swastika on it. I mean, I dramatize it for the show. She was aware of the irony of that knife. She was not, she was not unaware of the irony too, that the best times in her life were when she was a young woman with other women, free from all the strictures of German society, really, even though they were in the Home Guard, the Arbeitsdienst.
The girls were sent to Berlin to look out for the Allied bombers with huge telescopes. We always used to say, if you can hear the planes, it is too late. The bombs, they have already dropped.
I think that's what fascinated me, these mundane details, like the story my mother told about Dresden, where, Dresden has been bombed, the coal is still glowing in the cellars, and my mother, a young woman, has her period and is trying to find a sanitary pad. That's the side of war that you hear in the home, but you don't see in the news or in books and things, so I guess I found that interesting.
After the bombing of Dresden, I walked through the whole city to pick up my little sister Sabine. The coal was still glowing in all the cellars. All I could think about was, where can I get a sanitary pad? No, I didn't see any dead bodies. The whole war, I didn't see one dead body.
Your mother turned you against me. Your brothers and sisters never appreciate one thing I did for them. Your behavior is abominable. You will come again tomorrow? Yes.
My father's a Holocaust survivor and it's goddamn offensive to compare Obama to Hitler! Well, Obamacare is going to be responsible for the deaths of millions of the elderly and disabled. And that's how Hitler started.
I want them to see the humanity in people and cultures and understand that history doesn't disappear. It's not necessarily visible. Nobody would look at me. I seem like somewhat of a regular American person maybe, but I don't think I realized until my 30s how different my parents were, because you just grow up and you think that's normal. And, these legacies get passed down for people, in so many subtle ways. Okay, I'll admit, I was a little bit upset at first, but not because I was disappointed that my father would never be my father, because I realized that sometimes there is nothing you can say or do or be to fix someone. Others had a different take. My cousin Sylvia. So your dad sounds like a paranoid, narcissistic rageaholic, eh? My boyfriend. Your dad is like Stalin, and communism is bad. My sister. He has yet to evolve to a higher soul plane. Lasset uns